Putin has taken Europe to the cleaners. He is delivering blows after blows to the Europe. The consequences of cutting down the supply of oil and gas to the Europe by Russia have started to emerge. And trust us, it's not a good picture for Europe. Hello and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Vedika, and if you haven't subscribed to the TFI Global channel yet, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. And please install our Apple and Android mobile app. The link is given below in the description. The European countries sanctioned Russia in the light of Russia-Ukraine conflict. With this senseless move, Europe had dug its own grave. European economies are dealing with sky-high inflation rate reaching its highest level since the 1980s. The continent is on the verge of deindustrialization, and the signs have started materializing. This year, the production capacity of aluminium smelters in Europe has continued to decline. Similarly, the price of power in Europe has increased significantly this week as a result of the Nord Stream 1 gas pipeline's indefinite suspension by Russia. These are nothing but the direct results of Russia-Ukraine war. According to reports, insiders in the sector have revealed that the capacity for producing aluminium in Europe has already been reduced by more than 1 million metric tons. Smelters across Europe are starting to shut down or having to reduce their output capacity. The Dunkirk aluminium smelter in France announced a reduction in production of more than 20%. Additionally, the production of Alcoa's Norwegian aluminium smelter will be reduced by a third, and Norway's Norsk Hydro has also announced intentions to shut down its Slovakian aluminium smelter by the end of September. Additionally, Europe's output of aluminium has decreased to its lowest level since the 1970s. The reason for the mentioned chaos is electricity. Ballistic missiles, soda cans, car frames, and practically everything else are made of aluminium, but it takes a lot of energy to produce it. Data shows that it takes about 15 megawatt hours of electricity to produce 1 ton of aluminium, just enough to power 5 German households for a year. There is no doubt as to why the European aluminium sector appears to be in the midst of an unparalleled crisis of survival. The reason being suspension of Gazprom gas supplies and the worsening power crisis. The choice to shut down a smelter in the aluminium industry is daunting, because it will take months and tens of millions of dollars to restore it after the power is cut and the manufacturing building cools down to room temperature. According to Wang Yanchen, general manager of SMM's London office, the highest electricity price in the French spot market right now is 626 euros per megawatt hour, almost 3 times higher than the highest electricity price of 257 euros per megawatt hour on February 1st. The total capacity of European aluminium production is around 4.8 million metric tons. Now, the production capacity has been reduced to more than 20% to 1 million metric tons. As electricity is so expensive, according to Wang Yanchen, European aluminium smelters may further cut back on production before winter. Definitely, the shutting down of aluminium smelters will impact a lot of industries. Amidst this, after shutting down aluminium smelters across Europe, Russia is selling its aluminium to the continent. According to a Reuters report, the EU and the US have increased the imports of aluminium and nickel by up to 70% between March and June. The largest producer of aluminium outside of China is Russia's Rusal, which supplies around 6% of total global production. The EU is the largest importer of unwrought aluminium from Russia in the 4 months after Russia invaded Ukraine, bringing in an average of 78,207 tons per month in March to June, 13% higher than during the same time previous year. The statistics indicated that from March to June, imports of the aluminium and nickel into the EU and the US totaled $1.98 billion. Therefore, after closing down aluminium smelters in Europe, Russia is minting money by selling its own aluminium. That's a crafty way to do business. Well, that's how Putin's Russia operates nowadays. Europe has no one but itself to blame for the mess it created by sanctioning Russia. Not only this, but they have bought 7 packages of sanctions against Russia that only exacerbated the pain. Well, it's rightly said, if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging.